Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Now, as you can tell, my voice, it's not beautiful right now. I can't lie, my voice ain't beautiful. Over the weekend I got a little bit ill, but all better now other than my voice. It's kind of going. But today we're going to come with two videos for you, and I did change my camera angle just because I wanted a little bit of a different theme, if you know what I'm talking about. Probably not, but let's get straight into this Chelsea news video. There's two exciting stories. One, actually no, the first one's not so exciting. WILLIAN de Borja Silva. Yeah. And then secondly, could there be a Jadon Sancho and Callum Hudson Odoi swap on the cards? I don't know. You have to find out. You have to find out. You have to wait till the end of the video and find out. Look, it's not me who makes the rules, or it is actually, but yeah. Yeah. Actually, before I get into this video, I think the main reason my voice is kind of broken is because I was trying to do that thing. Sheesh. I just ended up going, sheesh. Oh. So with that out the way, today, let's get into the first story. It's a big story. Actually, it's not that big. I'm not really sure why I'm that gassed. WILLIAN. We know WILLIAN left Chelsea last summer and joined our arch nemesis Arsenal on a free transfer. The reason he left Chelsea was because Chelsea didn't want to renew his wages or renew his contract, and renewing his wages, the same thing. They didn't want to have him at the club on such a high payroll, considering his age. He was 31 last summer, now he's 32. And after one season at Arsenal, he's flopped. He's a bigger flop than Werner, that's all I'm saying. Okay, he did cost £45 million less, but Arsenal are paying him 300k a week. And is that what Timo's getting? No, it's not. It's not. The 32-year-old wants to leave the Gunners this summer now, and it has been announced that him and David Luiz will not be both not be renewing their contracts, so they'll both have to look for clubs to go to in the future. I think David Luiz, was he going to Brazil or something, or somewhere in Europe? But WILLIAN has not got a destination yet, but there are a lot of clubs following him and wanting to get him. I think the one off the top of my head, Inter Miami, owned by David Beckham, over in America, over in Florida, Miami. Nearly went there, but COVID messed it up. I would have been sick. I would have actually been so good if I went to Miami. Bro, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. Maybe one day. But according to a report made by Sky Sports, WILLIAN is keen on a return to his former club Chelsea and Stamford Bridge. Now, let me just get it out of here. He was great. I think his last season for us was his best season in a Chelsea shirt. I've watched him since he joined from Andy Makakakakle, and I've been watching WILLIAN through most of my Chelsea career. Not I've got a career, but yeah, ever since I've been supporting Chelsea and following Chelsea, I've been watching WILLIAN, and I think his last season in a Chelsea shirt was his best. Maybe you could argue the 2015-16 one where we finished like 10th and completely flopped under Jose Mourinho. He was our only saving grace that season. He was our best player by far. WILLIAN has really not had the best of times at Arsenal. He's got, is it 1 goal in 37 appearances, 16 starts and 9 substitute appearances in the Premier League. I remember he got a couple of assists against Fulham in the first game week, and Arsenal fans are going mental. Oh, we got WILLIAN on a free, what a bargain. Oh, what a player he's going to be for us. No, he's not been a good player, has he? It's WILLIAN. And now he's kind of become a bit of a meme, which kind of feel bad. But he's got 1 goal and got 5 assists in 16 starts and 9 substitute appearances. He also gave 2 assists in 9 Europa League matches, which is kind of weird because he was a huge success at Chelsea. But I find it very hard seeing Chelsea re-sign WILLIAN. First of all, he left because he was too old. So having a year marinating over in Arsenal in North London, we're not going to win him back for a year later when he'd be a year older. And we're not lacking in wide players either. Callum Hudson Odoi, we're going to talk about in a minute. Christian Pulisic, Ziyech, Werner, Mount, Havertz, they can all play there. We don't need a winger, although the next story is on bringing in a winger. But you have to wait. Like I said, be patient. Patient. Arsenal are also unlikely to let the winger just like release him, because they are paying him 300k a week, and they've really lost a lot of money if they do just release him. So they may want some kind of transfer fee. I think only Chelsea definitely won't pay a transfer fee for a player that we released on a free. So can I see this transfer happening? No. Is it 1 out of 10? I'll give you a 1 out of 10, William. The only reason is because I know he really wants to stay in London. That's why he went to Arsenal over Barcelona. Imagine turning down Barcelona to join Arsenal and finishing 9th with them and getting kicked out the Europa League by Villarreal and Unai Emery. But yeah, I can actually see him maybe joining Brentford or Watford. Watford, I can see. They may want like an attacking Premier League experienced winger. The only big thing weighing it down is the fact that he will probably be demanding £300,000 a week, and Watford will definitely not be paying that. So I don't know where he'd go. Probably end up going to Inter Miami, because they'll probably pay a transfer fee and pay him a lot of money, and probably get up with link up with Gonzalo Higuain, the other Chelsea flop. He was so bad for us. He was dreadful. Now, according to Eurosport, secondly, this is a second story. According to Eurosport, Chelsea will not hesitate in shipping out Callum Hudson-Odoi this summer, which has put Borussia Dortmund on red alert. Now, we know what English players are like going over to Germany. We've seen it happen a lot of times. The biggest one, the most significant one, Jadon Sancho, he went from Man City to Borussia Dortmund and has torn the Bundesliga up since. Now he's looking like he's going to cost £100 million if you're ever to leave. Maybe to Chelsea, maybe to Liverpool, Man United. Other ones, off the top of my head, Demarai Gray. I don't really know how he's going on at Bayer Leverkusen. He was the Man United defender that also went to Bayer Leverkusen. I can't remember. There's been a good few English players, and Bayern Munich were trying to sign Callum Hudson-Odoi a couple of years ago when he was still 17 or 18, I think he is, because he's now 20 years old. He's not actually started a Premier League game since April, and although starting off at Thomas Tuchel's high up Thomas Tuchel's pecking order, he's definitely dropped down now. And he, like I said, he hasn't started a Premier League game since April, and we're now approaching June. That's a whole month. So like I said, Bayern Munich were trying to sign Callum Hudson-Odoi for £30 to £35 million, but Chelsea were able to get him back on board of Chelsea with Frank Lampard, who was in charge at the time, and give him a new contract. He is on about 130k a week, I think, which is a lot for a 20-year-old. That's a lot for a 20-year-old. However, I think Bayern Munich did try and sign Callum Hudson-Odoi last summer again on loan with a £70 million offer to buy at the end. And life began quite brightly under Thomas Tuchel when he came in for Callum Hudson-Odoi. But he's sort of fallen out of favour, and he has looked surplus to requirements, with him now Chelsea's third choice right wing back, with Azpilicueta being second and Reece James first, obviously. And he can't get in the team in front of Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner. Especially if we bring in a new attacker, then I don't think he really has much of a future at Chelsea, which is difficult. We can't see Tammy Abraham go. We can't see Fikayo Tomori go. And, Jesus, that was loud, Callum Hudson-Odoi. No. Not all three. In one stubborn transfer window. But, like I said, with Chelsea not being hesitant to offload him, not being hesitant to offload him, it has spiked the interest of Borussia Dortmund. The Bundesliga side, however, are preparing for life after Jadon Sancho, who looks set to depart BVB after 4 years of fine service. And Man United are said to be in the best position to sign England's exciting forwards. However, going back to Jadon Sancho, Chelsea have apparently asked to be kept in the loop regarding Sancho's movements. And I have made a few videos in the near past. I know it's the near future, but the recent past, I don't know. In the recent past, I have made a few videos, and there was a report from The Sun that suggested a huge bid was being lined up by the Blues to sign Dortmund's youthful attacker, and they are actually asking for £78 million, which is not that much considering he could be one of the best players in the future, I think. And when Sancho does leave, another talented wide player will need to take his place at Borussia Dortmund. Step forward to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, like I said, I just want to put this out here first. I love Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think he's a great player, so young, so so exciting. Every time you get the ball, you want him to take on a play. He's got a great cross on him, and I don't want him to leave. But would I take a swap for Jadon Sancho? No, I don't think it would be a straight swap. I think Jadon Sancho has established himself as one of the better youngsters in the world. And although Callum Hudson-Odoi could unlock that potential as well if he was playing in Germany for 4 years, it's not been like unlocked at the moment. So his ability cannot be questioned. But the irregularity of game time has halted what is still a promising career. He's only 20 years old. He's got another good decade, especially 100% a decade in his career to go. And a move to Germany wouldn't be the most unusual decision either for the Chelsea Academy star. Now, I think Hudson-Odoi does still have a role to play at Chelsea in the future. He is a Chelsea, he's actually from Tooting, which, shout out to Tooting. I'm not from Tooting, but shout out to Tooting. But obviously, like I said, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a huge player. He does still have a role to play at Chelsea in the future. But his development might be suited elsewhere, like Jadon Sancho. Being able to just open himself up, being free, take on players, shoot, do what you want, get 5-star skill moves in FIFA 22, Callum. As long as you're doing it and you're enjoying yourself, that's the good part. But also, as long as you're playing well as well, where else would there be better to do so than Borussia Dortmund? Sancho is a prime example of a young English player going abroad and excelling. They like to bring in young players. German clubs are definitely interested in bringing young English players as well to like bring them through their system. And imagine Callum Hudson-Odoi with Erling Haaland. Maybe now this is the big one. I think Haaland will stay at Dortmund for next season. This is the big one. If Sancho were to leave Dortmund, then Hudson-Odoi will replace him. But could Chelsea try and urge Dortmund that they could try and do some sort of swap deal? Now, this is just an opinion. This isn't confirmed or reported or anything. But if Borussia Dortmund was so interested in Callum Hudson-Odoi, and we're so interested in Jadon Sancho, couldn't we say, like, you know what, you're asking £78 million for Jadon Sancho. Why don't we give you 50 and Hudson-Odoi? You can have Hudson-Odoi, you bring him through like Sancho, but then we can have like a buyback clause in the future for like £100 million, or £50 million, whatever. A bit like they did with Erling Haaland, or a release clause. Something smart so that we don't lose Callum Hudson-Odoi forever. Because that would be quite frustrating. But I do want to see Callum Hudson-Odoi playing week in, week out. And if that means not at Chelsea, I don't know. It would be difficult, but to see Callum Hudson-Odoi flourish in the Bundesliga like Jadon Sancho has over the past 4 years, then is it really a risk worth taking for him? Definitely. For Chelsea fans, I don't know. He would always have a place in my heart, Callum. But if we can get Sancho as well to replace him, then maybe we're not losing out on too much, because they're similar players, both rapid, both really good with their feet, skillful. I was about to say quick. That's kind of the same as rapid, mate. But yeah, they're similar players. They're both young. They're both English. If I could take I don't think they'd do a like-for-like swap. I think Sancho, like I said, is probably rated higher than Hudson-Odoi at this current moment in time. But you never know in the future. Maybe Hudson-Odoi goes out to Borussia Dortmund on loan next season. Their front three is Sancho, Haaland, and Hudson-Odoi. And if he excels, then we can just take Sancho and they can keep Hudson-Odoi. Never know. You never know. Anyway, that is all today. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video. Check out my England video coming probably later on. I'm about to record it again. But thanks for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not here. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.